listening to you.
I genuinely respect the overlord. Because
Oh, I think
I always go back and forth as far as like, it drives me crazy with audiophiles. It sounds like but I like the way that it looks
Mhm.
because it's kind of, I mean, also keeps your hood up. There's nothing that I hate worse than like doing. We've talked about this before. I hate wind. Like wind is, I understand that it's necessary for many things,
Interesting.
but I don't like it. So wait a minute. I want to go back. Let's stay on topic here. You don't. How do you grow up
Okay, go
on
on.
the eastern seaboard,
Uh-huh.
which we call it what it should be called, the West Coast, and you don't like seafood? Like I understand why you don't like lobster. It's delicious.
Yeah,
I think it's delicious, but I don't want to work that hard. Like we've evolved since we've left caves, and I don't go stabbing my food. Nor
I
do
don't feel like
I have
crushing
to-
it just to get the meat.
Yeah, it's like God. It's like the most visceral. You have to crush it and then crack it, and then you dispense with 3/4 of it, and then
Yeah, you should
it's
be
only
eating that
good-
stuff.
No, like that's disgusting, and it's only good when you dip it in butter and like all these other sauces. I'm like, now granted, I love oysters,
Mhm.
but I only like oysters as a base layer for like shallots and all
I
the
see.
different little accoutrements that comes with it. So I understand my hypocrisy, but it's just so weird. I remember the first time was like I was with somebody. I was in Boston. And I can't remember where I was at, but they were like, "You've done lobster." I was like, "I've had lobster before." I was like, "No. Have you ever like really done lobster?" I was like, "I don't think I have." And they brought it to me. They brought this little sea bug, and I was like, "Are you gonna do anything?" They're like, "Have at it, brah."
You just take it and you start slamming it on the table.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat the hell out of this thing." And I left, and I was like, "I understand why they give you bibs," and it just has always felt so stupid. I was like, "Oh God, I don't like this. I don't
Well,
like this at all."
when I lived in Boston, I lived in the North End, which is the most Italian part of Boston.
I thought, what's the most Irish? The South End?
Boston.
Okay. All right.
But like the usual things I would get was more or less like Italian food. Like my Mike's Pastry is the famous one, but Bova's is right around the corners, and they just make. Oh, come on,
Yeah, I did it again. There's Jack Black.
it's me.
Sued one of these
It's
days.
it's Boston Jack Black. And I would just go around the corner and get like a calzone that they made, which was fresh, and they had the best pizza there. So it's like I never really needed to get seafood because there was better food closer.
Yeah, but you're supposed to like change it up. I try to change it up. I try to rotate my diet to where it's like I'm not just having the same thing. Dude, you don't understand. This is new for me. Like or relatively new. I went dumb for like the longest time. When I could pull, I think I've said this before. I could pull up to the Taco Bell that was Taco Bell. Do you hear how I said that? Taco Bell, not
I
Taco
still don't
Bell.
understand how I'm saying it
Weird.
wrong.
You're
It's
weird.
Taco
I know
Bell.
we're not going to get into it.
Okay.
But I would pull up to that restaurant, if you can call it that, and I'd be like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "Okay, cool, pull through." He knew exactly what I wanted. It was a very complicated order. Maybe that's why he remembered me so much. Certainly had nothing to do with like my profession. I did that so much. I ate that so much. My Papa John's guy, I used to order pizza from
Papa
Papa John's.
John's.
This was like 8 years ago. Whatever.
Domino's is better than that.
No, and Domino's was closer, by the way. I went to Papa John's because it was better. Anyway, they gave it to me for free. It's like, here, man. Here's the pie, dude. Just please, like,
Stop calling us.
yeah, like get your shit together. Like, start caring more about your life. Because it would be like 2 pizzas in a day. It was not good. I wouldn't leave the house. It was bad. It was just there was a whole period of my life where I was just like, I needed to get my shit together. And it
Was this
told
in
as
your
much from my friends.
20s?
No, it was my 30s, dude. My 20s, I was also trying to get my shit together, but that was in a different state.
I was about to say, I feel less bad about myself if it was in your 20s.
No. 20s are all about your shits everywhere.
Yeah.
And then your 30s, like, get your shit together,
It's everywhere.
but it's still shit. And then your late 30s, you're like, okay, what shit do I no longer need?
All
And then
these
you're
pizza
too old
boxes.
for this shit. Do you understand, like, the phases of life with shit? Your first part of your life, you just shit yourself. And
It's
then
in
you
your
become
hands, and you
a
go,
little
oh.
shit. And then you get shit, and then you got to get your shit together, and then you get over your shit, and then you get too old for this shit.
Mhm. It's just
And
all
then you
about the
turn into
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
that's the faces of life.
It's a circle of shit.
We did it. That's why you guys show up on Sunday. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Prompt. This is what we do on Sundays, not just talk about why Tom avoided the
I
best place to get seafood
I
in
want
the
people
entire
to
country.
make diagrams of like our train of thought.
No, it's impossible. We don't want it. It's like John, Beautiful Mind. What's his name? John what?
I've
John
never seen
Hampton?
it.
John Connor? I don't know.
Oh,
Sarah-
Russell Crowe, you mean?
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I said John, but sure, you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
There was an actual person that movie's based after. Anyway, this is what we do every Sunday. It is Prompt. It is a community creative event where we come together, and believe it or not, we actually have a theme that we choose, and we discuss that theme for a little while and explain what that theme means to the person who'll be giving it to you today. And then, if you're watching on YouTube, we invite you to think about that theme and then find a way throughout the week to creatively express that theme and share it with us. You can either do that on Twitter or fucking carrier pigeon. I don't care.
Yeah,
Find
I
a
mean,
way
listen,
to do
smoke
that.
signals are also great.
Smoke signals are fun. I'll just look in the west and then light the beacon, and I don't know which that was you. It's about creatively expressing. That means that even the expression and the execution of that creative expression can be creative. Go weird. You've got this amazing device that you can create with. Jim Cummings, not the voiceover actor, but the writer director, said, if you have a phone and you have Adobe Premiere, you can and Ambition, you can make a movie. I'm like, absolutely, dude. You don't even need a Premiere. You can do that in iMovie. It comes free on your phone. If you're a film director, if you want to make content, you have everything you need, literally, in any version of the phone if you've purchased a phone in the last 5 years. Anyway, find a creative way to express that theme. If you are part of our Patreon or part of our Rad Pack, which you can go to patreon.com/Troy Baker and find out why we even have a Patreon. And dude, Tom, you're going to be proud of me?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what? I might even just read this right now. I've been writing this morning, and I've kind of like, people are like, why is Troy now in real estate? I'm like, it's not realtor, it's relator.
Well, we're also
trust
selling
me,
houses. If you're
we're also
interested in
selling
that,
houses. The house that we sell, this could be our vamp. I don't care. This is what I've written so far. Okay.
Mhm.
I took a drink of coffee. What is Relator? Not realtor. Relator. Relator is a community spread out over multiple platforms, including YouTube, social media, and Patreon. It is a conduit for those seeking ways to creatively tell their stories through shared experiences. Each piece of content we have is designed with one of, if not all three, of these components: entertainment, education, and community. And we do this through one of the following, either through our podcasts, through our Let's Plays, or through creative workshops like what today is, Prompt. To put it another way, talk, game, play. These channels, these threads, make up the content portion of Relator, but that's just a part. Anyone can make content and anyone can watch it. We are about using content in order to create community. We watch movies together, we create together, we do life together, we learn about each other, we listen to each other's story. That's what I've got so far. And the reason why we have a Patreon, there's some cool shit you guys don't even know about that we're doing right now. The reason why we have a Patreon is because there's some threads of content like our writer's room that we have every Wednesday, like our Relator Reads, which is our book club that we have. There's things that we intentionally keep small so that it can be communally focused and people can engage better. And we share a lot of stuff like we'll be doing after we get off this on YouTube, where everyone's going to come together and share their creative expression for today's prompt. We do that to intentionally keep it small so that people feel more comfortable sharing. There's things that we do throughout the week that we can share, but by and large, this is about a bunch of people who are spread out all over the world, finding interesting ways to connect with each other. And everybody who is a part of that Rat Pack is invested not just in Relator, but in each other. That is investing in other people's dreams. We are a dream factory. We're finding creative ways to help people have their dreams come true. So that is like what this is all about. That's about as much of a pitch, I guess, is I can
I
come
mean,
up
you
with.
got it.
Damn, dude, I'm getting better. But it's not about why does Troy Baker need a Patreon or why does Troy Baker have views? Is not about me. As a matter of fact, today is not about me at all. I started this whole thing we do today, Tom.
Oh yeah, this song.
This idea of prompt, which was like, here's a prompt for you to be creative and do it quickly. Come back and tell us how you creatively express this. But it's not about me coming up with an idea. I wanted to find out how the community could get involved with this too. So today we have someone very special joining us. Jesse, get in here. And Jesse is the one who's actually got an idea. If you have an idea for prompt, by the way, let us know. Add us on Twitter, Relator Channel, and let us know. He's like, hey, I've got an idea for prompt, and I want to do something really cool. Let us know what it is so that we can schedule it out, so that you can be the host, so that you can engage with us in that way. So Jesse, last week, the prompt was leap of faith. That was one that Tom had, like Stuart. Like yesterday, we watched Into the Spider-Verse, which was so dope.
Such a
God,
great movie.
I love that movie. If you don't know what we're talking about, every Saturday we get together and watch a movie together. When we say watch a movie together, that means that people that are Rat Pack get to join us inside the Zoom call. It's the only theater where you're encouraged to talk. Everyone else on YouTube gets to watch us be idiots watching a movie. We let you source the movie yourself, but we get to choose the movie for you. Last Saturday, was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And it's always chosen organically. It's someone saying, I've never seen Godfather. We're like, what? And so we all decide to watch Godfather together. The commentary is hilarious, but it's also a really cool community way for us to share in something together, especially when it's someone's first time watching the movie. So today is prompt. Today, again, is where we choose a specific theme. We discuss that theme for a little bit to find out exactly what that theme means to the person giving it. But then you get to show us, if you're on YouTube throughout the week, we will set you free and you will find a way to creatively express and then share that theme with us. And then if you're part of our Rad Pack, you will join us in this Zoom call 30 minutes later and share with us how you creatively expressed this theme presented by Jesse. Go.
So I've chosen the theme of pride for this week's prompt, simply because I feel like pride is quite a multi-pronged fork to find a very strange sentiment, very strange thing to use. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. On pride, it's written that if pride was, it was pride that changed angels into devils. It is humility that makes men as angels. So pride has got this very traditional, negative image, whereas now, for me, for a lot of people, pride is a celebration. It's an ability to express and be proud of oneself. I also think pride is something to be proud of things we've experienced, things we've done. I think now it's seen as quite a celebratory term for the most part. So I think it's quite an interesting thing to look at and to see which side of that coin people kind of attack pride from. Pride also isn't quantifiable. What I'm proud of can't be put against what someone else is proud of. I'm as proud some days of getting up and getting to work on time as I am of my degree or things I've achieved in the past. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what people come up with.
I heard someone say once that the most necessary and least often phrase said in a relationship was not "I love you," but "I'm proud of you." Like that right there is something that we think, or by and large, I grew up thinking, I knew my parents loved me. So when they said they loved me, it was an affirmation, but it wasn't necessarily like a revelation. But it didn't have the same response to me when my parents said, I'm proud of you. And inversely, the absence of pride could be interesting, but to find where people make that connection with. But for me, it was always, I either made my dad proud or he was disappointed in me. And that was the two, like, if we were looking at that coin, the pride was the heads and the disappointment was the tails. So I'm so disappointed in you, devastated me more, because I knew my parents would never say, I don't love you anymore. But like you said, it's not even a duplicitous word. It's such um, a incredibly complex word. Take pride in your work, but don't be too prideful. I'm proud of you. Um, and I never even thought it in just the context of today of pride. Like it's Pride Day. This is a Pride festival. This is to the not even the reappropriation, but just for the first time of going, I don't have to hide nor apologize or be ashamed of who I am. I take pride in who I am, and that this other thing, by the way, is something about me. To not only just say it's not that I'm gay or wherever on the LGBTQ plus side of that spectrum you fall, to say, but there's also a person behind there. That's not the only defining characteristic of me. Um, and that when you just even phrase it that way, saying taking pride of who I am, just who I am, is so interesting. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how people express this, especially because there's so many people that in our community that word means so many different things or could mean so many different things. Ooh, creative juices are flowing already. Um, Tom, you have anything to add?
I'm excited to see what people have to take from this. I
And
feel
with
like a
that
lot of people
said,
can
sorry,
go.
sorry, I go ahead. I'd set you up and then I cut you off. Go ahead, and then I'll finish.
I feel like a lot of people can take different things from this. Like, pride can mean so many things. Like, it's dumb, but when I think pride, I think of like Pride Rock, and then I think of like Hamlet and Lion King and all that stuff. But that's just where my mind like naturally leads to. And I
Right.
think of, like paternal and like fathers and what is right and what can I do to make that, and also what is like how can I pride myself on these sorts of things. So it's it very much an internal thing, which can be shown outwards, but that's just where my mind goes. I want to see where everyone else is.
And because it's so varied, I really want to encourage everybody today. There is a notion that I think that by and large people think when they think creative, they automatically think I have to sing, I have to paint, I have to write. And by the very nature of the way that we're choosing to do this, we're not in mass together. We're doing this over the internet, so it limits us in some ways. But I do want to also encourage you. You have 30 minutes. If you're part of the Rap Echo and you're going to come back and share with us today, or if you're watching on YouTube, you have all week. And again, I want to. The beauty of like playing D&D is I'm going somewhere with this. The beauty of D&D is that it's yes, you have your spells and your abilities, and you have your race and your class, but beyond that, the true beauty and the true amazing skill of D&D is being able to just look at everything around you, even if it's the mundane, and go, how can I use this in an amazing way? How can I truly be unique and use a chair to be the weapon that I need, or just even have a chair to sit down? It's being able to think about the ordinary world in an extraordinary way. So if you have always presented your prompt or your creative expression of that prompt in a specific way, maybe today is the day you shake it up, and you don't just think that. Again, you're not a writer, you're not an actor, you're not a director, you're not a painter, you're not a photographer, you're not a singer, you're not a dancer. You are a storyteller. That is what you are at your very, very core. You choose to tell your story in these specific ways, but that's not who you are. Who you are is a storyteller. And that means you have literally unlimited ways that you can tell your story. So the question is, how will you tell your story today? So I really want to challenge you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can use your phone. You can spend the entire week creating a new way for you to express your story and the theme of pride and what that word specifically means to you. What does it evoke? What does it make you remember? Is there a specific memory that you think of when you think of the word pride? How has that word changed for you? Find a creative way to express that. If you're part of our Rad Pack on our Patreon, you'll be joining us in about 30 minutes. to share with us your creative expression. Tom's going to be putting everybody into breakout rooms, so you all know where to go. Find a creative way to not only express pride, but find a creative way to creatively express that. Go nuts. There's literally no wrong way. Get some Play-Doh, get some dirt, get some,
Just
go
don't eat
around
it.
your house. Don't eat the dirt. Don't eat the Play-Doh either. But find a creative way. Go, what have I never done before? There's literally nothing you can do that's wrong. And this is not about impressing each other. It's just finding a creative way to express this, even if you've never done this before. Someone said an ice sculptor is like, get some ice and a knife and just start carving. Say, I've never done this before. But just so that we're very, very clear, and then Jesse, of course, will be hosting this afterwards and saying, you'll be sharing this with her. And it's all about this great discussion that happens afterwards as people share. And this is how we get to learn about each other. This is how we get to truly have community. So first we get to play, and then we get to commune. So Jesse, just for everybody that's watching one more time, reiterate to us the theme as succinctly as possible and what their challenge is today.
Simply just the word pride, as multifaceted as it is. Find whatever way you want to express that, or you feel pride, or you are things you are proud of, and show it in whatever creative way you decide to do. And whether you want to do something completely out of the blue and completely crazy, totally 100% down for it. I think it'll be amazing to see what people can come up with. But pride is two sides of a coin, whether you see it as that, something positive, something negative. Go wild with it.
I agree. Go wild. Everyone, that is your prompt for this Sunday. Again, we do this every Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. GMT. We would love it if you join us. Again, can't wait to see, if you're watching on YouTube, what you express throughout the week. Of course, Patreon, Rad Pack, stick around in 30 minutes. We'll be back in here to share with Jesse and Tom how you expressed pride this week. Monday's got a new legit. If you've been playing Miles Morales, you will love that episode. I get to sit down and talk with my buddy Najee Jeter. Tuesday is our new podcast that we have with Lily K and Katie V. To all the films I've judged before. It is their podcast discussing their favorite movies, and they also have special guests joining them, specifically talking about film and TV. If you're a film and TV buff, it is fantastic, and it's a perfect way for you to get plugged in. Wednesday is Writer's Room. If you're in our Writer's Room, we got a special guest that's coming in to share her experience of writing and being a writer in this industry. If you are a screenwriter, an author, a poet, a novelist, an essayist, if you like to write editorial or op-eds, this is a place where other writers come together to not only learn about the craft of writing, but how they can be better writers themselves. Again, go to patreon.com/Troy Baker to find out how to get involved with that. Thursday and Friday, got more gaming content. And then Saturday, come hang out with us as we watch a movie. My God, I did it.
That's it. You did it.
Shit. There it is. Until then, you guys, I can't wait to see how you express this. Thank you for being a part of today. Jesse, thank you for hosting today. Have a fantastic week. Rad Pack will see you in 30. Until then, you guys, stay rad.